coming out in his best business attire with briefcase. And, yes.
I asked you kindly before the show began not to show that videotape on the air about me and Dutch Mantell.
Well, we thought we
But you took it upon yourself to do it anyway.
It's all right.
Well, let me tell you one thing. I am tired of associating myself with all the peons of the world. I have made a horrible, terrible mistake with the formation of my dynasty. And let me show you the graph that I went by. I was taught this in business school to do this. This is the dynasty business graph. I employed the pyramid theory to build my creation with. I started at the bottom with a solid base of wrestlers, and I wanted to move my way to the top. But it don't work. It doesn't work in professional wrestling. You have to start right at the top. Well, last week, Dutch Mantell humiliated me on television, on national television, came out here and took $845 worth of my good money and walked away with it. Well, I gave him the whooping of his life in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
And I got $2 back. Well, this week, secretly, I've been negotiating with superstar Bill Dundee and Buddy Landell to get them to sign contracts with me. I proved what a valuable asset I am to them, both of them. In several matches, there's Joe LeDuc in the ring getting ready to throw him over the top rope. Who was it that went up there and shot fire on Joe LeDuc to save their souls from getting thrown and all the bones broken in their body? Yes, it was J.D. Costello. Who went out with handcuffs when Bill Dundee was lying flat on his back? He didn't know what to do. He was going to lose his match. Yes, it was J.D. Costello who went out there. Well, this week, I went into the dressing room and I had a long talk with Bill Dundee and Buddy Landell. I offered them exclusive 3-year contracts to join J.D. Costello's dynasty. And what do? They threw me out of the dressing room. They spit on me. They slapped me in the face. They humiliated me behind all my friends. Well, Bill Dundee, you keep strutting around. You're not going to be part of my dynasty. And Buddy Landell, go ahead and dye your hair a little bit more. You're the nature boy, but you're never going to be part of J.D. Costello's dynasty. In wrestling, you have to go straight to the top. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm the man with the money. I do as I please. I'm going right to the top, and I'm going to the wrestler who has everybody around here. The greatest wrestler of all time. I'm talking about the king of professional wrestling, Jerry Lawler.
Come on.
He is going to join J.D. Costello's dynasty. Now, my staff has went to work all week, and I had them prepare me Jerry Lawler's scouting report, and I studied it, and also his wrestling history. The scouting report told me what I already know. He is the greatest wrestler of all time. But when I got to the wrestling history, I learned some new things. That he is most successful when he has a manager. Like when he had Jimmy Hart, he was successful. Like when he had Sam Bass, he was successful. Now he needs J.D. Costello to make him successful. I'll bring him back to success. He'll be in all the main events. I'll see to it that he wins all of his matches. He'll be very rich, and he'll make me make more money. So today on television...
You have already talked to him about
No,
this?
I'm going to do it today. I'm going to offer him a lucrative agreement and make him a lot of money and make me a lot of money.
I think you're barking up the wrong tree again, J.D.
I want you to take a look at this, Lance Russell. When we're talking about money, we're talking about... This is more money than you've ever seen.
You got that right.
All you geeks in the audience and at home, it's more money than you've ever seen either. I want you to look at this. This is
turn it down. Let everybody see it.
$100,000. As you see, it's in 10 lump sums of $10,000 each. It's $100,000, and I'm going to give it to Jerry Lawler today as an incentive to join J.D. Costello's dynasty.
Good.
So let's get Jerry Lawler out here right now, and as a bonus, I'll throw in this beautiful $500 briefcase.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to do it for Jerry Lawler.
That's quite a...
for the king of professional wrestling, come on out here. Meet your brand new manager.
Jerry is here.
Oh, this is going to be the most exciting thing that's ever happened in the world of professional wrestling today. It's going to be the biggest contract ever signed, Lance Russell, between Jerry Lawler and J.D. Costello.
He's got a lot of money, Jerry. I'll tell you that. It's legit. It's all in there. We were standing right here looking at it.
Let me see it again.
I wouldn't mind taking another look at it either.
Not fake.
No.
It's all new.
That's all the genuine greenbacks right there. $1,000 clumps of it right there. $10,000.
Get it right, Lance.
Hey, I can't count all those zeros in there.
You've never seen this much money. I know that.
Yeah, you're right. as a matter of
It
fact.
can be yours, Jerry Lawler. You're the greatest wrestler of all time. You've had a few upsets recently. I know you lost your belt. I can help you get your belt back. I saw what Bill Dundee, he stole it from you with the help of Jesse Allen. It now can come back to you because of me. You need a manager.
Okay.
You had Jimmy Hart. You had Sam Bass. You need J.D. Costello.
Let me stop you right there, J.D. Costello. Let me just tell you a few things. I want everybody to listen up here because, and as most of all, I want you to listen up. First of all, if you think that you're going to be able to come out here and convince me and convince any of these people that you and Bill Dundee aren't thick as thieves, you got another thing coming, brother. Do you think for 1 minute that I'm going to sit here and think that Bill Dundee didn't have you sitting in the back in those matches waiting to bring those handcuffs down there, or didn't have you sitting in the back down there? I saw him motion for you to come down to ringside in the match where you burned Joe LeDuc. Now, you think you're going to come out here and convince the people that you and Dundee aren't together in this kind of situation?
We're not. That was for Joe LeDuc. I shot fire on Joe LeDuc. I handed in the handcuffs for Joe LeDuc.
Let me tell you
something. It wasn't anything against you, Jerry.
I know exactly what you got in mind, J.D. You and Dundee have sat up late at night and you've hatched a little plot. You'd like to get my name on a contract so that you could control the kind of matches I get. You know why? Because then it would be the last match on earth that I'd ever get would be a Southern title match with Dundee. You would make sure of that, wouldn't you, J.D.? You'd make sure that Dundee wouldn't have to worry about me anymore because you would be the one that would be booking my matches. Well, let me tell you something, punk. I'm not signing any contract because your $100,000 don't impress me. It might impress some people, brother, but it don't impress me. And let me tell you something else. You talk about managers. You talk about managers, brother. You talk about Jimmy Hart and you talked about Sam Bass.
Exactly.
Well, you can talk about Jimmy Hart because you and he are in about the same category. You're both two leeches.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, listen, you wait a minute. You listen, brother. You've been out here running your mouth. Now I'm going to do a little talking. You and Jimmy Hart are just alike. You're both a couple of wimps. The only thing athletic about you is your feet. You don't know anything about sweating. You don't know anything about working. You've had everything handed to you on a silver platter. You see that punk Jimmy Hart? He was playing in a band. He never had an athletic bone in his body. He was never an athlete. He never wrestled. He never played any sports. He was a little musician, and he was playing in some dive over here and working for $50 a night and all the bar napkins he could take home. And I felt sorry for the guy because at one time he went to the same high school I did, and I thought he was a big shot. So I had pity on him, and I took him into the wrestling business. He didn't earn his way in there. I took him in, brother. I let him in, and he became just like you are, J.D., a leech. He hooked himself onto my back because he saw me as his meal ticket, brother. And that's what he used me for. He milked me for all the money he could get out of me, and then the first opportunity that he saw that he thought I couldn't make him any more money, he was gone, brother. He was no longer my manager. And that's what you are, J.D.
Wait a minute.
You're not an athlete. You've never wrestled. You've never had on a pair of wrestling tights. You've never played and participated in any sports because you are a wimp, about a 150-pound wimp, and you are a leech, J.D. Costello. You have found you guys, the Mod Squad, and you have latched onto them because you see them as a meal ticket, brother. That's all you do. Now, let me tell you about Sam Bass. There's a lot of people out here that may not know about Sam Bass because he died about 10 years ago. But he was my manager. And I'm proud to say that he was not only my manager, he was my best friend, brother. He started out in this wrestling business, hauling a ring and setting it up for the promotion. Then he worked himself up to being a referee. Then he worked himself up to wrestling, and he had a knowledge, and he knew what it was like to sweat and bleed for this sport. And he deserved to be a manager, and he deserved to be my friend. But you, J.D. Costello, you don't deserve any of this. Now, you can talk about Jimmy Hart, but don't ever even mention the name Sam Bass again, or I'll break your stinking pencil neck. Do you understand me, punk?
I don't know.
There he goes. J.D. Costello committed a no-no. He slapped Jerry Lawler. Lawler chasing him into the ring. Lawler starting to rip off. What? Are you believing? Take a look at that, Dave. Maybe we need another camera shot. Are you believing that? Well, I told you it was going to be a sparkling show. We better We better take a break right now, and we'll be back in just a